Hey guys, today I will be sharing with you something that I never shared with anyone, only the ones that was there to see it firsthand the day that I almost died in my mother's arms. I'm not the type of person to talk about my problems with anyone. I always keep everything that I'm going through bottled up inside. Just whatever it is, no matter what it is, I just keep it to myself. I deal with it how I want to deal with it. And as a result, I almost lost my life doing that. And I don't recommend you doing it. I don't suggest you doing it. I just don't, it's not healthy. Keeping your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions bottled up inside is just not healthy. If you don't want to share with anyone, that's okay. Write it down on a piece of paper, let it out. Just do not keep it bottled up inside. So, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Fearless Butterfly. If you do not have a YouTube, you can follow me on Facebook, the same, The Fearless Butterfly. I will leave everything in the description box below. So toward the ending of 2012, going into 2013, around November, December, I started to lose a lot of weight, like a lot of weight. I just thought it was because of everything I was going through. I was stressing about work, school, my father's health. I was in a relationship with the devil. Me and my mom, we were going through it. I had a lot on my plate. And one day I went to work and I wasn't drowsy. I was just like tired and fatigued. I was like, every little step I took, no matter what it was, I was just drained. So I asked my coworker, I was like, do I look okay? She's like, nah, Lanisha, you don't look fine. You don't look okay. I'm just like, okay, let me, just drink some water. That whole day at work, no lie, I drunk like a gallon and a half of water. I was just like drinking. My mouth was so dry. Did I check my blood sugar? No. Did I take insulin? To be honest with you, I don't know when was the last time that I took insulin. I had so much on my mind. I was drinking, I was smoking, I was just not being responsible as I should be. I was leaving work and something told me to call my dad. So I called my father and I was just like, Dad, I don't feel well. Something's not right. First thing he said was, Nisha, did you check your blood? Did you do your insulin? I was like, yeah. So he's like, all right, I'm going to come to the city and get you from work. I'm like, no, by the time you get here, I could already be home. I'm going to just jump on a train and just meet me at Broadway Junction. So I hung up the phone with my dad and I was like, let me try to gather all the energy that I have to make it home. Like, I'm not trying to be stuck at work in the cities. As soon as I walked out of the market and the cold air hit me, literally felt like my life was sucked out of me. Like, the air hit me and I was just like, like I couldn't catch my breath and I was just like, what the, like, okay, pull it together, Nisha. You have to make it home. From Chelsea Market to the train station is literally like a 2-minute walk. It took me maybe 10 minutes to get to the train station. So now I'm at the train station. I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, I'm at the train station. She's like, okay, just get on the train. Don't stop. Don't make no stops. Come straight home. And then she told me to find the conductor, sit with the conductor, tell the conductor what was going on. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll find him. I wasn't doing all of that. Like, I don't know if it's a pride thing. I I wasn't doing all of that. So I got on the train. It took me about 20 minutes to get home. Train's at Broadway Junction, and as I'm leaving the subway car, I see my mom and my uncle. I'm like, why? That was so embarrassing. So they helping me. We leaving Broadway Junction. So now that we're leaving Broadway Junction, we're walking to the car, and as we were walking to the car, my mom was like, we're going to the hospital. I'm like, no, I don't want to go to the hospital. I'm just tired from work. I need rest. I just need to sleep. She's like, Nisha, we are going to the hospital. And I'm like, Sandra, I don't want to go to the hospital. I'm fine. I just need my rest. I just need to sleep. I don't want to go to the hospital. So then my father was like, Sandra, if the girl don't want to go to the hospital, she don't got to go to the hospital. She just want to go home. She just want to get rest. She just tired from work and school. See? That's it. He stopped at the gas station and we picked up some vitamin water, some Gatorade. I went home. As soon as I got home, I laid, I passed out. And I was so, exhausted. I slept the whole night. So the next morning, it was time for me to get up to go to work. My mother was like, Nisha, you going to work? And I was just like, just leave me alone. I'm tired. I just need my rest. I just need my sleep. So she was like, unlock your phone. I'm going to call your job for you to let them know that you're not coming in. She called them. Yeah, Lanisha's not feeling too well. She won't be into work. They was like, okay, I hope she feels better, blah, 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 blah. So that whole day, again, I slept. I didn't wake up to use the bathroom, wake up to do it. I was just tired. I was just sleeping. So Sandra came in the room. Nisha, wake up. You gotta do your blood. You gotta take your insulin. I'm like, Ma, leave me alone. She left. She came back an hour later. She's like, Nisha, wake up. You have to do your blood and take your insulin. I'm like, Ma, I got up. I took it already. She knew I was lying, and I knew I was lying because I was just tired. I was just sleeping. She's like, wake up! Stop you to take your blood and do your insulin. Like, I'm not playing with you. I'm gonna call 911 and we going to the hospital. I'm like, Ma, I don't want to go to the hospital. She was like, we're going to the hospital. I'm like, Mommy, please, just please leave me alone. I do not want to go to the hospital. I'm just tired. I just want to sleep. So she left me alone. She let me sleep for a little while longer. And then she was like, nah, that you getting up, you going to the hospital. So she called 911. And I was mad. I was like, why would you do that? I just told you I don't want to go to the hospital. So I didn't have no energy, no nothing. She helped me get out of bed, and she walked me to the living room. My cousin had came downstairs and was helping me get dressed. And I'm like, why would she call 911? I don't feel like going to the hospital. I'm fine. Nothing's wrong with me. You call 911. She was on the phone. She was like, yes, I have an emergency. I have a diabetic. She's in and out of consciousness. She's not being very responsive. She's sleeping all day. So they came like that. So when they came, they took my blood sugar. My blood sugar it said HI. So right there, my blood sugar was automatically over 600. They took my blood pressure. My blood pressure was extremely, extremely low. So then they checked my pulse, my heartbeat, and my heart was just racing it was racing so fast. My father was like, can we take her to LIJ? It was like, sir, if you love your daughter and you want to see your daughter, if we take her to LIJ, your daughter will not live to see tomorrow morning. So then now I'm panicking. I'm like, yo, what's going on? And they called it in. They rushed me to Brookdale Hospital. We get in the ambulance. So now I felt like a fish that was out of water. I'm hyperventilating. Lanisha, relax, calm down. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I need something. I can't breathe. when we were inside the ambulance, they gave me oxygen. As soon as they gave me the oxygen, I felt so much better. So now he put the sirens on. We were rushing to the hospital. This was the ambulance, and this is my father behind them. They was like, ma'am, call your husband and tell him that he cannot be that close to us because he can cause an accident. I don't know what shortcut my father took, but he got to Brookdale before we got there. So now we're in the emergency room. It's a few days before New Year's. The emergency room was ridiculously packed. If you're from Brooklyn and if you know Brookdale Hospital, then you know. So now we're there. They rushed me, and the nurses, they didn't even I guess because I wasn't bleeding from my head and whatever. They just didn't they just looked and just kept pushing. So now the oxygen tank finished, and I was just help me, I need something. I was in and out of consciousness. I was here and I wasn't here. I was here and I wasn't here. I was literally drifting off. My mother, she kept slapping me. She was like, wake up, wake up, wake up. And I'm just my aunt just just leave me alone. I just want to go. Just leave me alone. So then now they put me inside of a private hospital room, lay me down. They're trying to undress me, and my mom's telling them my medical history, and I'm just I can't breathe. Can someone help me? I can't breathe. So then they gave me more oxygen. The doctors came in right away, and he looked at me. He checked my pulse, and he looked at my mother, and he was like, can I talk to you in the hallway for a second? And then when, my mother, she was already crying. And when the doctor said that, I just started panicking even more. So then now they're in the hallway. He told her what he had to tell her. He told her that they had to intubate me because if my heart continues to beat that fast, I will not live to see tomorrow morning. And he explained the procedure to my mother, and he told her everything that was going to happen in the procedure. So my mother came back in the room. She was crying and crying and crying. And it was one of those situations when you see your mom crying, you just automatically crying. She came back crying, and she was just Nisha, I have to leave you for a little while. Don't worry, I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. The doctors are going to take good care of you. And I was just Mom, please don't leave me. Don't let them do this to me. And she was Nisha, I have to. You're my baby. I don't want anything to happen to you. I'm Mom, can you stay in the room with me? I'm don't go. Don't let them, I don't want them to hurt me. She was no, they're not going to hurt you. They're going to make you feel better. So then, my mom and my dad was there. And I was just I'm Mom, what are they going to do? What's going to happen? She was baby, don't worry. They're going to make you feel better. I'm okay. So, she tried to let my hand go, and I would not let her hand go. I didn't want my mom to leave me. I didn't want my dad to leave me, but they had to. So then they left. The nurses came in the room, and then they explained the procedure to me again, and they were talking me through it. I'm please don't hurt me. And I said to the nurse, I was I don't want to die. I don't. So then the nurses, I was so dehydrated, the nurses tried to find a vein so they can give me the anesthesia for the procedure. So the nurse stuck me. It hurt really bad. It hurt. I'm used to getting IV needles, but it hurt so much. She stuck me again, and I swung. She was Miss, you can't hit me. I'm but you're hurting me. Another nurse came in, and she found a vein. She stuck me with the IV, and then anesthesiologist came in, and she's talking to me, and she was like, I'm gonna give you a little medicine, it's gonna burn a little bit, you're gonna fall asleep. So she's giving me the medicine, and it burned, like it burned a lot. It wasn't supposed to burn that much, like it burned too much to even be bearable. I'm like, no, something's wrong, it burns too much. So enough of the anesthesia got into my vein, but it wasn't enough to put me to sleep. So I'm slowly like drowsy, and I just close my eyes. So then now the doctors come in to perform the procedure. Everyone in the room thinks I'm out cold. They think I'm just in la la land from the anesthesia. When the doctor went to open my mouth to put the tube down my throat, I jumped up and I jumped up like the exorcist, and I started swinging. Like, it was my reflex. So when they put the tube down my throat, like, I jumped up, started screaming, swinging, coughing. Like, I was like, and they was looking at me like, how is that even possible? When they looked at my hand, they seen that my hand blew. The IV wasn't in my vein, so I didn't get the anesthesia. So the second time around, another doctor had to come in, and this time around, they strapped me down to the bed. They restrained me just in case something else happened, I wouldn't wake up swinging. So they tilted the bed back, and they put the IV in my neck. It was either in my foot or my neck. I didn't really have good veins in my foot, so they decided to put it in my neck. So doctor, he found a good vein, and they gave me more anesthesia, and I was out. They intubated me, and I was put in a medically induced coma. No one knew if I was going to wake up. I didn't know if I was going to wake up. I was just going through so much. The last thought in my head was seeing my parents devastated. Seeing my mom cry. I was hurting on the inside. That was the last image that I had in my head, seeing their faces. And I was fighting. I literally fought for my life. I was fighting after day after day after day. I was not giving up, because no parent should have to bury their child. No, I didn't. I felt horrible putting my parents through that. I was in the coma for about 2 weeks. And it felt like I was sleeping. So one day my dad came up. He sat next to me, and he told me when he would speak to me, he didn't want to look at me because he didn't want to believe that his butterfly, his baby girl, was in that predicament. But he said something told him to look at me. And when he looked at me, he was like, then he looked again, and he was like, her mouth is moving. Then he looked again. He was like, yo! She chewing the tube. And she's chewing the tube. She's trying to talk. She's waking up. That's how they knew that I was alive. They yelled for the nurses and the doctors. And he was like, she's chewing the tube. Like, she's chewing the tube on the side of her mouth. And when I was starting to become aware of what was going on, I started to panic because I was hooked up to machines that had all tubes on my throat, my nose. Like, I would just panic it, and it was like, Lanisha, relax, Lanisha, relax. And I would just like what is going on? Like, get this off of me. Like, what is going on? They calmed me down. They gave me medicine to relax me, and then the doctors came in. They took the tubes out my nose and my throat. I tried to talk. My father was happy. My mom was happy. The family members and my friends that was there at the time, they were happy. They all told me that I had them scared. They was like, we thought we were going to lose you. And I was just looking at them like, what are y'all talking about? I'm like, is it New Year's yet? And it was like, Lanisha, New Year's came and left. And I was just like what? Like, what happened? They were like, you were in a coma. And I was like, a coma? Like, what? Then my father showed me the pictures, and I just broke down, and I was just like, wow. Like, looking back every day, I thank God for giving me a second chance to live. The first time around, when I was first diagnosed with juvenile diabetes, if my mom hadn't gotten me to the hospital when she did, they told her she would have lost me. This time around, if she hadn't gotten me to the hospital when she did, she would have lost me. The third time, when I was experiencing the gastroparesis, they told her if your daughter hadn't gone to the hospital when she had, you could have lost her. If it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't be here. Like, I was so stubborn. Like, I just didn't want to go to the hospital. I just told her I was tired and I just wanted to sleep, but it wasn't me wanting to sleep. It was just me actually drifting off. I was going to die if she would have let me close my eyes when I told her to leave me alone. I love my mom. Until this day, when I told her to leave me alone, she says, I'm never going to leave you alone. Moving forward from that situation, I don't keep anything bottled up inside of me. I write my problems down. I talk about what I'm going through. If I don't feel comfortable with sharing with my mom or my best friend, I just write it down. I don't keep things bottled up inside me. I keep positive people around me. If the relationship I was in drained me physically, emotionally, mentally, it was not worth it. It was not worth it at all. Always put yourself first, no matter what. Yourself, your health, your mental state, your physical state, your well-being. Just always put yourself first. Yourself, God. Thank you for listening. That is my story about how I almost died in my mother's arms. And I'm happy to be here. I'm grateful to be here. I'm thankful to be here. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Fearless Butterfly. If you do not have YouTube, go ahead and like my Facebook page, The Fearless Butterfly. That's all for now. Until next time, my beautiful butterflies. Mwah! Bye.